It was always Richie.
Hey, Ricardo.
It's always Richie.
Richie, they'll call you Richie.
Yeah. Yep.
Richie Gaccioni.
That's me. That's what they call me.
It's me, Richie.
Yep.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Hi everybody. Welcome to this week. Oh, it's early. We're early.
It's fine. We're good.
All right. Hi everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Does It Get Better? Um, I'm one of two. I'm two of two. You're one of two. I'm two of two. Neil Rubenstein.
I'm one of two. Richie Gaccioni.
Richie Gaccioni. Does it bum you out when I do that?
No, not at all.
Hey,
That's what it is.
I want to work on a character that's a redneck, but he talks like Italian. Yeah. Like, we're gonna go hunt a couple of ducks, cook them up nice, a nice Milanese, a nice duck Milanese. You know what I mean? We'll catch a couple of catfish, fry them up nice, Parmesan style. Some lemon sauce, some
Some
capers.
Parmesan catfish. Gross. Catfish Parmesan. Your hair's pulled back. Your hair's that long,
My hair's
huh?
pulled back.
Wow. Nice.
Today's episode is old habits.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's cliches, but I don't want to talk about bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about good habits,
All right, that's fair.
like getting back to some good habits. Like we mired in the muck and the mud for over a year,
Yes.
14 months,
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah.
And now we're getting back to some old things that we enjoy.
Yeah.
Playing rock music. You're taking pictures of your dog's open mouth. That's you, man.
That's me.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're getting, like we could talk about old habits like, oh, it's so bad to like do these things that you used to do that are like for me, it's eating late at night.
Mm-hmm.
Like once I broke my leg, well, even really the whole pandemic, like I stopped eating late at night because like there wasn't anything open. I wasn't passing a Taco Bell on the way home.
Right. Oh man, that gets you every time.
Oh, it gets you every time.
But,
And now like to do this halal all by me.
yeah. That's an old habit. Every Monday, I have my other band practice. I'm the two bands. I have my other band practice every Monday, and every Monday when I'm on the way home from band practice, there's a Taco Bell. Like I can like see it basically from my front lawn, and every Monday I'm like, I'm gonna get Taco Bell after practice. I know it, and I have to be like, I'm allowed. I can if I want to, but it's like I don't want to get into that habit of getting
Yeah.
Taco Bell every Monday because it's like when I get Taco Bell, I spend $20, which is a lot of Taco Bell, and I sit on my couch and eat it all because I'm like, what am I gonna have leftover Taco Bell? No,
Can't put that in the fridge.
right?
No, eat this.
Yeah. So
So yeah. So we could talk about those things, but that's a bum out. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to think about that stuff. I want to think about good stuff. I want to talk about good habits, work habits,
mm-hmm.
but not like work for other people habits, like work for you habits,
Yeah.
work for your soul habits. What are some things, that we can do that remind ourselves of the past that felt good for ourselves that are,
Good habits or old
good habits.
our old patterns and stuff, right? Um, I know for me, getting back into a workout routine has been really, really good. That's been like a very positive. It was a habit that I had for quite a long time, and it was a very repetitive. I was always going to the gym. Like when I lived in California, I was there like 4 days a week, and then I would like when I moved back, I kind of like fell off. And for the past few years, it's always been a struggle to get back into that habit because finding the right environment in which to work out in is tough. Like I bought the Planet Fitness membership because I needed a gym to go to because I didn't have a gym. And you go to Planet Fitness and it's like it's a gym. It's a very basic place and it's very hard to the style of working out that I was accustomed to. You can't really do that at Planet Fitness. But I was like, oh, if I have a membership, I'll use it. And yeah, I did, but it just wasn't the same thing. And then finally I spent the money and bought weights and stuff a few months ago and have been doing the thing that I wanted to do and knowing that I own the equipment and I can just go downstairs at the moment and just like rip a workout and feel good and be like, all right, this is this is the kind of thing that I need to have a habit of, you know. And it's definitely been super positive. I mean, a good workout, like a good heavy sweaty workout for like 45 minutes right at the end, which I do every Monday too. After the podcast, I have an hour between when we stop and then when I do my workout with my old trainer over Zoom. She helped me in the powerlifting training. That's what I was doing out in California, and we reconnected. Shout out to Holly, and she's wonderful, and she gets me motivated, and like it's like a really really tough one-on-one Zoom workout every Monday, and I get like that feeling after a good workout of just like, all right, I did my baking in the morning. I did a little bit of whatever before we get on the podcast. We do the podcast on Monday. Then I go to work out and then I go to band practice. And then I avoid Taco Bell at the end of the day. That's like my Monday is full of like, it's full of habits. It really is. It's kind of funny that we're talking about it because it's all these things that I could either avoid and be like, wallowing in that ever present like, oh, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to talk to anybody, I don't want to be productive, you know, in that. But I know there's people that are counting on me to be there at certain times for certain things, and none of those things are like bad things, or you know, none of them are negative. So I always have to show up for myself. I'm like, all right, well, we got a couple of orders to deliver on Tuesday, so let's get this stuff made. Let's do this podcast and have a good talk with Neil. Let's get this workout done. You know, it's staying in a habit or having a habit continue is really tough. But every Monday I wake up, I'm like, all right, cool, we're at Monday. And it really does a cool start to the week too, because it gets a lot of like motivation to just kind of keep in a rhythm of stuff.
And you don't wake up like, oh, it's Monday. Like, all right, new week, let's go.
Yeah, it has to be that way. I was at one point I was definitely like, ugh, Monday, you know, like I don't know, it was just like because I wanted to like just not do anything, but then you just kind of snap out of it right away. And so like, this is all positive stuff, man. Like it's all cool stuff. Nothing, there's no bearing on anything if you do it or don't do it, but doing it is a productive outcome rather than not doing it and kind of just like sitting there and doing nothing. You know, I kind of have to like, for myself, I had to differentiate the end result, you know, like, oh, if I cancel my workout, you know, then I just won't work out anymore and I'll get in. And if I don't want to do the podcast, Neil will be mad and then it'll be weird and we can't do, you know, like, you know, all that stuff. So that's not the reason why I continue to do the things. It's just like I know my brain will go to those spots and it's pointless to do so. So therefore, I'm like, no, this is cool. This is Monday. This is what we do.
Monday. You always talk about like putting down 10 poles.
Mm-hmm.
So let me say this first. I generally, the past, you know, whatever, when my leg was broken, and depressed, Monday, like leading up to this, like I wouldn't do anything before this.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, I have this at 3:00, so I'll just start my day at 3:00. You know what I mean? Like I would just be like lazy and a piece of shit the whole day.
Right.
And like now I'm starting to like plan things for before this. It's like, oh, but I got to get home by 3:00. That's all. That's the key. I just got to get home by 3:00. And it really does change like the dynamic of the day.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just like, because if you're in that hole, you know, you just
stay in it.
You
just literally like, just stay there.
I'll get up for this thing at 3:00 and then I'll fight my way through it. And then I'll like watch the clock the whole time. And then I'll go back to nap.
Man. Yeah. Absolutely.
My evening feeding.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude, like, seriously, That's I've definitely been there too. Just like literally watching the clock and be like, I think I got up at like 9:30 today for no reason other than that's when I woke up. And I looked at the clock. I was like 9:30. Okay, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. So that's 5.5 hours till the podcast. And I was like, for a minute I sat there like, so I don't have to do anything for 5.5 hours. Like I was like setting myself up for that, like that hole. But then I was like, no, I got a couple orders I got to do. And then like, I was like, oh man, maybe I can just do them later. And I was like, no, dude, like stop, like get up, do the orders, have your coffee, do the stuff that you know you're not going to want to do at 9 o'clock tonight, because then it's like when you were in school and you put off projects to the end or your homework or whatever. It's like, I was just like, for a split second today, I was like that. But you know, there have been days where it's just been like you wake up and you don't want to do a damn thing. But again, it's good to have like, now that we have like the 3 o'clock thing, it's cool because I know like I have X amount of hours to do. You know, I could leave the house. Like I have a really bad habit of, and this started like even before the pandemic started, of leaving the house to be productive. It was really difficult for me to like leave the house and do something and come back. And I talked to my therapist about it, and I kind of forget exactly where we landed on it, like what it was, but he recognized it as something that people do have a problem with. Of like, I guess it was more of a motivation of like getting out and doing stuff outside. But for me, it was like, if I left the house and I did stuff, and then when I come back, my day's over because I don't have anything else to do. So then I'll just sit there. So then I just procrastinate leaving the house, and then I never leave the house, and then I kind of like blame myself for not leaving the house and then having to do the thing that I wanted to do that day to the next day. So it was this like endless cycle of just this like these patterns that were just like hitting each other, and like neither of them worked off of each other in any way. But I've gotten way better about that since however long ago that was. And it was definitely just a motivation thing. It's like, you have to shake off, and this is definitely an old habit kind of thing, is shake off that like procrastination. And if you have something to do it. And once you have it done, you have it done. And you have to look at these things as accomplishments rather than just like just negative tasks or like inconveniences to your day.
Chores.
You know? Yeah, chores.
You know, like
yeah.
You can't, it's like a chore. It's like, like, I mean, it hasn't happened recently, but forever ago, there would be moments where it was like, I don't want to go to this city right now, and like, probably gonna like run into someone I don't like at the mic, and I don't want to deal with this, and then like, there's not gonna be anyone at the show, like no, you know, and it's like, what are you doing, dude? Like. Yeah. It's like literally the only thing that makes you happy. Like, why just go do it? And like, all right, you have a bad day or a rough day, like whatever. Like, at least you're setting yourself up that tomorrow will be better. You know, like, I know. And then you always talk about these 10 post situations, or what do you say? Flag?
Yeah. You put like a flag, like a reset, or restart point, a respawn point. Yeah,
a respawn. And so like I was thinking about that when we were talking about, you know, when we were old habits, like where is that respawn point that was like a happy time?
Mm-hmm.
And like, what were your habits? What were your old habits then? Like, what was I doing when I felt best about X?
Mm-hmm.
Or you know, like and like, did those things affect it? And can I do those things again? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it feels like it's important. It's important to like make your brain think that things are going well, so that your brain continues to perpetuate that lie that things are going well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's wild how combative your brain can be with itself, you know? Like
your brain's such a dick.
Yeah, right?
I know that I know that we talked about this in like the early episodes, just like your brain just being like so shitty to you, and it's just like it's so hard to like so hard to convince yourself that like, oh, that's your brain being an asshole. Like
Yep.
it's not that bad because you want to trust it. You want to like be like, oh no, my brain's the only thing that like I can trust.
Yeah.
Like it's like, no, dude, like your brain's a fucking asshole.
It's true, man. Like just like the little things I had, like in topic of old habits, yesterday or the day before, um I had to like do something in regards to like money stuff, and immediately the old habit of like worrying about bringing up money with somebody about paying them for stuff, like got me very, it's the same thing that happens at, you know, the DMV, the IRS, the doctor's appointment, all that stuff we've talked about. And it's the same it was the same pattern. Like I was working myself up to this, like, oh, they're going to be bummed, they're going to be mad, it's going to be awkward, whatever, I have this conversation. But then you know what I did? I was like, I recognized that my brain was doing it, and I said, that's not how it's going to go, because in reality I knew this person is my friend and will understand anything I have to tell them. So I wrote them a message, I sent the message, and guess what? Everything was cool. They responded and they totally understood, and it was fine. And that was it, you know? So I was like very happy with myself that I was able to sort of clip those feelings, or those like thoughts that were like stewing up right away, you know, cut them off right away, and have that situation sorted out within, you know, an hour of like starting to worry about it. And that's been really big for me in my like, call it recovery, my progress, whatever it is, for the last, you know, year and a half of just kind of becoming, you know, the person I was so long ago, is just being more in control of those negative habits and thoughts and thought patterns and stuff. And it's been pretty good. Not worrying so much, you know. I still worry. We all worry. That's what we talk about on this show. We're worriers. But the way in which we deal with worrying, for me, has gotten a lot better. I've been able to approach it and deal with it a lot better than I would have, you know, a while ago. And a lot of the ultra bad habit stuff is completely out of my system. You know what I mean? I'm like happy to say that like the negativity and the wallowing and the mental and physical abuse I put upon myself is like, I think about it and I'm embarrassed because I got to that point. You know what I mean? So like, that's not even a
like
thing.
Oh, who does that?
Yeah.
Like, why would I, you know? Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm like, I'm very happy to say that I'm like way past that point, and I'm more like I was like, we all have anxieties. We all have like issues in the way we deal with things. So like, I'm kind of getting back to normal and being able to properly deal with, in which way, in the ways that I did. Like everybody deals with things in a different way, but I'm my old habit, you know, of worrying about it a little bit, but taking care of it, because in the end it's going to be all right, which is great. I think that's it's a good method. It doesn't hurt anybody, you know?
And that's a good habit to be in. Just take care of the things you need to take care of.
Yeah.
I apologize for like, I'm yawning a lot.
Yeah. It's all right. I'm boring. It's all right.
Huh?
I said I'm boring. It's okay.
No, dude. So, you know, like whatever my issues, like I have trouble sleeping a lot, and what's weird is, so like my mania. So like I actually slept really well last Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I woke up like, God, carpet denim, you know, and
carpet denim.
And I was just like, so like, you know, and I was literally manic for like 3 days, and I didn't sleep at all for 2 of those days. Like I was just like at my most manic. And then that was, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then last night still just a terrible sleep, but now I'm like not manic anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So like all day today, I just been like super tired. Like
It's all
I went
catching up with
out,
you.
to see some old friends this afternoon because they're moving, and yeah, like I just like at being with them, I was like, oh, I'm like kind of sorry, I'm not you know just tired from my bout of mania.
Did you do any shows and stuff this weekend? Were you out and about doing that this weekend?
Yep.
That's
We
good.
I did New York Comedy Club last night, 2 spots, 2 shows. It felt good to be back in that room on that stage. Just yeah. And it was so funny too because it's just like everything's great right now
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, oh, we're back, we're doing it. And it's like these exact conditions in a month, we're all gonna be like, oh, this is bullshit. Like, but because it's like so new, we're just like, oh, thank God. Like,
Yeah.
I'll gladly perform in front of just 8 tables. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But then, like, I know in like 2 months, people are gonna be like, I'm not going all the way to the city to perform to 8 tables. Get the hell out of here.
Well, hopefully it exponentially like increases and gets a little bit better. It
New
feel
York's one of those things where it's just like they're not gonna change it back because they have this like authoritarian power to like shut places down now,
mm-hmm.
and they're not gonna relinquish that.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep it, some bullshit like protocols, like, oh, you didn't do contact tracing, and it's like everyone here is like everyone here has the vax,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like, or it'll be like, oh, you didn't take anyone's temperature. It's like the temperature means nothing.
Yeah.
Like, oh well, we're gonna shut you down now. It's a $55,000
Oh
fine.
my God.
Like,
The contact tracing stuff is one of the one of the most annoying parts about working in the restaurant too. It's like everybody who walks in, like, we still do it because it's what we do and we're being responsible. But it's like as soon as somebody walks in, it's still like they kind of look around. Nobody's at the host stand. They like look at me. I'm behind the bar. I'm like, just 1 second. They got to get your info real quick. And they're like, can we just sit? I'm like, no, they got to get your info. And then somebody comes up and they take, what's your phone number? Have you been here before or whatever? How many people? And it's like, how much information do we have logged of all these people who've come in? And it's like, I don't think we've ever had to use it. But I mean, I guess, hey, listen, I'm just being a negative Nelly. If something happens, I'm glad we did it. But it's just like, are we really still going to be taking people's names and phone numbers the second they walk in the door, for the next year, for the next however long? It's like, but we do what you got to do to stay safe, I got my second vaccination dose. I don't know if you knew that. I was fucking out of commission yesterday and the day before. I didn't think I was going to be, but I was. Very
banged you up.
Yeah, just like the night after I got it, like 9:00 the next day p.m., I started feeling really, really, really tired. And then I passed out on my couch and then woke up at like 2, 3 in the morning, like really hot and sweaty. And then I like got in my bed and couldn't sleep and had a nightmare. Then woke up at like 7:00 the next day and was just up. And then the next day was yesterday. And I was just super tired all day. And then I fell asleep on my couch again and woke up today. I feel all right. So I don't know if it's just a mixture of like just being tired and having bad dreams, not being able to sleep or whatever. But we got it done, so that's cool.
I was banged up like the next day, maybe day and a half after dose 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually I had like a televisit with my doctor because I was like, I still kind of had a cough and like shortness of breath, and I was like, dude, it's been a while, man. Like something's got to go.
Yeah.
And he gave me a prescription of prednisone or whatever it's called.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
5 days, 5 doses. And yesterday or whatever, Saturday was my last dose, and
you good?
Feel pretty good. Feel like $150.
$150?
Feel like $1.25. Yeah, man. I've just been feeling good lately. Like finally.
Good. You got your tour coming up, your little road trip coming up at the end of the month. That's great, man.
Are you doing your little? Are you doing your little road? Your
You
little
doing your
road
little thing?
tour?
You doing your little thing?
You doing your little thing?
Neil's got his trip coming up.
Are you doing a little trip? Like, oh, my career? Yeah, I'm gonna pursue my career. Thank you.
A little Neil's got his trip coming up. Come tell
Hey,
me.
you got your
about
little
it.
thing. You're gonna bring some friends.
Neil,
You're
tell
gonna
everybody
have
about
any
it.
friends. You're gonna go on a little
up here and tell
vacation.
He's gonna go drive around and tell jokes.
You can tell little jokes to your friends. You went right just into any little skits.
Yo, you know what habit I need to get back into? And it's probably the same as you with writing material, is actually writing songs at home. Do you
Riffing it up.
I got to rip some riffs. It's really difficult for me to play guitar by myself at home because like I can and I do, but I don't really get the full effect of what I'm trying to do without like a drummer and another guitar player. And I mean, it works out fine because when I go to practice and stuff, we do mess around and stuff. But I really want to get in the habit of like picking up the guitar for like a half hour a day and just playing, because I feel guilty, and it's the same thing with like working out. If I don't do it and I know it's sitting there and I could have easily just picked up weights for a half hour, I feel guilty about it. Same thing with the guitar. Like a week will go by, and if I didn't practice, like I'll have put my guitar in a certain spot when I came home. And then a week will go by and I'll have practice again. The guitar's in the same spot. I'm like, oh man,
Like a dump, yeah.
Yeah, you had a whole week, dude. You could have just picked it up for a minute, you know? So I definitely want to start getting in the habit of like writing music at home. I have like the technology to plug my guitar into the computer, write drum parts, all this stuff. It's all at my disposal. But I don't know what's keeping me, man. It's weird.
I bought the little speaker. It looks like a little Vox amp.
Yeah, yep.
So cute.
You put it on your belt and walk around.
You
with
put
it
it on your belt. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't, because that's goofy as shit. But
yeah, it's funny too because you think of.
and then I got a Bluetooth thing, so I can like put it over there, and I can like plug my guitar into my phone over here, and the amp simulators on my phone.
No way,
like
really?
Bluetooth to the thing. Yeah.
You got all that stuff, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Just
But
like,
I don't do
like I don't do it, but I have it.
yeah, and then I just play the intro to One
Yeah.
and Prince's version of Nothing Compares to You.
Okay.
That's it. That's all
That's a
I
good
got.
one.
That's all I know how to do.
Yeah, that's that's better than nothing. It's like I like to try to figure out what I'm doing that's taking the time out of the time I could be playing guitar. Like I need to log my activity for a day, you know, to see all the time that I'm wasting doing what? Probably like watching TV or like
Playing solitaire on your phone.
Yeah, I mean, so one of the bad things that happened, and bad I mean like not bad, but Magic the Gathering came out for iPhone. The game that I play on my computer and the game that I streamed, they finally released a version for the iPhone. And instead of sitting in the office here in my second room on my computer, now I can sit on my couch and have TV on and have the game and play like the same game I'd be playing. And so I know that's taking up a little bit of time, but it's not taking all my time.
And it's actually not that it's better, but like oh, I watch 4 hours of TV a day, let's say. Well, now you're watching 4 hours of TV a day, and your phone screen time is the same 4 hours. So it's actually like kind of better than if it's like you separated
Did 4 and 4,
yeah,
you just
hours between. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, yeah,
I know it's ridiculous, but it's like we do like being on our phone. We enjoy that. That's like an enjoyable thing.
Yeah.
So like that screen time, like you can limit that screen time, but you're limiting a thing that you like doing. You're going to replace one enjoyable activity with another. Like productivity is a subjective thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I could be like, "Oh, well, I'm trying to be productive, so I'm going to watch this comedy special."
Mm-hmm.
Like that doesn't look productive to somebody else. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Like so like you're so like my I enjoy playing this math game on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like replacing that, I want to replace it with something else I enjoy. I don't want to replace it with something I don't
Right.
enjoy.
Like just because, like, yeah, like,
Right, just to say like, "Oh, I stopped using my phone for a thing that like stimulates my brain."
right.
Like
Right.
if I do it right when I wake up, I feel like I have a better day because I'm like getting my synapses
Mm-hmm.
firing, because I'm just like now I'm thinking mathematically and I'm thinking about numbers and it's like, all right, okay. And I can tell when I'm gonna have a rough day because like I'll look at it and it'll be like I'll make mistakes, I'll make a
Mm-hmm.
lot of mistakes, like I'll do math wrong or like and it's just like, all right, well, at the end of the day, like, you know, and not like the expression at the end of the day, but like literally at the end of the day. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
Yeah. Some things, it's a good point. Some things you look at and the outside world would consider them like not productive, or like they wouldn't be seen as something that's like a positive thing to take up your time in your day, yet they are, because that's what you enjoy.
Yeah, you need to enjoy things.
Right.
Like
Right.
if you don't enjoy things, then you fall into bad habits and you fall into like depression and you
Yeah.
fall into like stress related health issues and
Yeah.
like all these things. Like you need to enjoy your thing. And that's like the other thing with like I'm gonna use exercise because I feel like that's something that everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna start running,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna start running. And it's like, all right, well, how long are you gonna run every day? Half hour, hour? Well, then what? And then what? And then are you running from home for a half hour, like just a half hour, or are you like going to the gym? So is it a 15-minute drive each way? And then do you shower at the gym? So it's like, all right, so now it's like 2 hours of my day is now dedicated to running.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what are you losing? Are you going to not sleep for 2 hours? Are you going to not hang out with your wife for 2 hours? Are you going to not watch the TV show you enjoy for
Right.
2 hours? Like, what are you taking out to replace it with this thing?
Mm-hmm.
And before you give yourself this false expectation, like, oh, I'm just going to add running to my regimen and I'm going to be, and then when you fail at that, you're like, oh, I'm such a lazy piece of shit. And well, it's not, no, you're not a lazy piece of shit. Like, you didn't do the things you needed to do to make that to set yourself up for
Right.
success
Right.
at that thing.
Your other things need
You
to
know what I mean?
support that thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like someone would be like, oh, I want to get into like this thing. I want to open my own business. It's like, all right, well, how much time are you going to spend each day on that business?
Mm-hmm.
And then what are you going to remove from your life? Otherwise, you're setting yourself up to fail at that business. And then you're like, oh, I'm a failure, or oh, I blew all my money, or
Right.
oh, I did. It's like, no, you didn't set it up. Like you didn't set yourself up for success. Like not to be like Gary V about it or whatever, but
Yeah, like
he doesn't even
everything
say
everything
anything. I'm actually saying something.
can't be like a layer on top of another layer. They all can't be covering
Yeah,
one another, right? They need to
yeah,
give each
yeah,
other
yeah,
space.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that people want to jump into something new. They do. They just like they give all their time, energy, dedication goes to this one thing. And you're right. Like, what's going to start to suffer, or what's going to start to get less time and energy because you want to do this thing completely right off the bat.
Oh,
Uh,
that's another great point. Is like you don't want to give up the wrong things.
mm-hmm.
You need to make that plan. You need to be like, all right, I don't need to watch The Walking Dead anymore. So that's 1 hour a week I have free now because that show sucked. So now I have an hour, and it's like I'm not going to replace it with The Crown. I'm going to replace it with jogging. I'm gonna jog. It's a soft jog. I'm gonna jog 1 hour a week. Like that's what I'm gonna do now. Sundays 10 o'clock. I'm going out for a jog.
Yep.
End of story. And you build from there or whatever it is. If jogging is your thing.
Run
You're into
running.
jogging, you loser.
I like how jogging is like a kind of just like people who don't want to run. Now I'm going to start jogging because running is like a little bit too much effort. Let's just jog. Let's just start there. I'm going to go for a jog, aka a light run, aka walking fast.
I'm gonna walk briskly.
Running.
How do you feel about brisk walking?
Running has always been like one of the worst things for me. Like I'm a big dude, and as soon as I take like 3 strides of running, my entire body is
like fuck you.
Yeah, it's like absolutely not. Nope, we're not doing this.
Yeah, my knees they're not happy ever. My knees are not happy campers. Physical therapy is gonna be good for me though, because like they're building up my knees.
That's good. Yeah, that's the same thing with my exercises. I literally have like 2 issues with each knee has their own thing, right? One knee has this piece of tendon that goes over the top that gets really, really sore and tender and limits my movement if it gets that way. It's this kind of thing that comes out of nowhere. It feels shitty for a couple days, and if I stretch enough or if I exercise, it'll go away. And then my left knee cracks every single time I bend it. And if you're like me, that makes me feel like nauseous, like having your knee crack every single time. Like, because when I'm working out, my knees are always bending one after another, after all these repetitions. And you hear it and you feel it cracking. It's not that it hurts or anything. It's just gross. And it's just like, it's uncomfortable. So with working out and stuff, I'm getting into like actually taking care of my body pre and post workout by like stretching and doing a lot of these things. Like the habits I haven't been in is like before even I go to bed, like after like a workout and then doing a post workout stretch, and then before I go to bed doing another round of those stretches or whatever, or just some simple like self-care stuff like rolling out on a foam roller, or just kind of like sitting Indian style for a few minutes and like getting your legs stretched out. Things like that really help. But for the past like year of like not doing anything physical, it really caught up with my knees. And I actually, speaking of running, I tried running like a day at the gym when I had like the Planet Fitness. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get on this treadmill. I'm gonna go for a run. And as soon as I started, with both my knees were like, nope. And then like this part in my back, this part in my back that always like acts up. I have this like weird spot. I don't know what it is, but there's, as soon as that's in, my knees go, no. And then my back's like, yo. So I just like, that's just not my style. Standing still and lifting heavy things is like where I'm at as an athlete, like
I lift things up, I put them down.
Exactly. But it is a good habit to get back into, which I had been in, and in topic of being an old good habit is, and anybody can do this and feel good. It's just like stretching before bed or stretching when you get up in the morning. A good stretch will do your body good. And oh man, another good habit I got back into was doing apple cider vinegar shots in the morning with a big glass of water. That gets your body so ready for the day, and it sounds, I don't know, it sounds whatever you think it sounds if it doesn't sound good to you. But I had been doing it for a while. I stopped for a long time, and then I was like, what felt really good? Having a glass of water with apple cider vinegar, cayenne pepper, ginger, and turmeric in it. And I started doing that again. Man, it really turns your body on in the morning time. You get it hydrated. You get it like revved up with the spices and shit that you put in it, and the apple cider vinegar gets your body going. And it's a really weird and gross sounding routine to be in, but it works. It's not like some placebo shit. Like it really, like an hour later, I'm just like energized. I feel good. My body feels good. You get the insides going, you get the outsides going.
To make you poop?
It'll make you go. It's not like, it doesn't always, but it helps. It helps with digestion and stuff. But it doesn't like, it's not like I take it and like have to be like, all right, I'm gonna poop in like 20 minutes. But
poop.
I gotta go. I've been doing it before my coffee, like literally like waking myself up and like making sure I have some water and the apple cider vinegar. It's good. It's not for everybody, but it's it's a cool thing that I've gotten back into doing. It makes me feel good. Like you're saying, in the morning time, you do like a math thing and you get your brain going. Yeah. This gets my body going, in a sense where it like helps me get my brain going as well.
Yeah, I'm not into it. But that's all right. That's the beauty of things.
It is. It's the beauty of things. Not everything is for everyone. I'm trying to think some other old habits, good stuff that I did.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have any real, like, I just know, like, I know that I'm like that I want to do, like, I don't know if they're habits, you know what I mean? It's just like I know what I want to accomplish. And like that's the important thing. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it is. It is because you set a goal for yourself, or you set it's a goal. It's like it's initiative to do something that will satisfy a positive need in your brain, right? Like you have a thing, and we all need positive reinforcement. We need positive outcomes, because if all we're having is negative outcomes or no outcome, if we're in a slump where we're not doing anything, that's going to wear on you, and that's going to set you into a really bad spiral of just like, no, not doing anything because nothing ever goes right, and I don't have anything to look forward to. So
yeah, what's the point? What's the point in doing this? Like, it's just going to go wrong. It's going to be bad. Like, oh, so stupid. Like, yeah, you got to not.
So having just one little thing, like for me right now too, is we're getting back into springtime, thank goodness. And I got like my plants and my garden and all this stuff like revving up, and like that was something I was into at the end of last summer when I moved into this house, and now I get like a full shot at it this summer because I have like springtime to plant stuff outside and grow stuff from seeds and all this stuff that I've never done before, in combination with stuff that I learned at the end of last like growing season. So I got a lot of like cool things to look forward to there. Oh, and you probably saw, I found bunnies in my backyard. There's a bunny nest underneath my deck, which is like super cute, but also kind of annoying because George would probably try to eat them if he found them. So I got to like figure something out there, but
let him.
Let him?
Yo, it's the thing. It's a circle of life.
Let my domesticated dog eat the baby bunnies that are under my porch.
Listen, they're going to be formidable opponents. They're not going to go quietly.
I'd rather see them just grow up and move on naturally. Choose my own adventure. But yeah, man, I got all this outside stuff I'm all psyched about, and I'm just like, I've been really good too about like not I mean, this is the first time I'm actually thinking about bringing it up, is like referring to, whoa, that's wild.
Now we're in the same place.
That is very, very, very weird. I don't even know how you did that.
I just photoshopped you out of your own screen.
That's crazy.
You can tell it's Photoshop because of this little area.
Oh, yeah.
And then like if I like... I can't show you. I can't show you.
Oh yeah, I see.
Like right behind me, like the bookshelf just doubles. Like it's like there's no bottom. It's just like the same. It's just it's like the top of the bookshelf again.
I like how productive.
But you can tell right here. It's like really.
Yeah,
that's obviously Photoshop.
Obviously. Not the fact that it's my house behind you, that it's photoshopped.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy I did that.
I'm proud.
Oh, there you go. Now you can see like.
That's it's just there a bunch of times.
It's just a thing twice.
What I was saying is that
I just got so excited about this.
The thought pattern that I had been bad about doing is like remembering and setting anniversaries for stuff like, oh, this time last year I was this time last year I was that, oh, this is when that bad thing happened this time last year.
Yeah, but what if they're negative though?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was bad. I was bad at doing that. I was holding a lot of weight in these like negative anniversaries. You know what I mean? But what I've become better at doing is not doing that. I have a good run. The only time that it sneaks up on me is in my dreams. Like I'll have a dream about something or someone that really sets me in a negative spot when I wake up the next day, because I feel like I'm doing very well about progressing and moving forward and just kind of like getting over the stuff that I needed to get over. So that's the only time, like when I don't have complete control over it. But if I'm like awake and I'm like sitting here and I'm doing something, my mind wanders. I'm like, oh, last April I was doing, and then like if it might sneak up on me and be like, oh, last April I was doing, doesn't matter because it's this April and I don't have to worry about it. So I've been this habit I've been in is just really just looking forward. There's been a lot of like talk, we've gone over this a bunch about like trying to look at some positive stuff that you have going on. So you have the power of like not, sitting in a pool of like negativity in the past and all this bad stuff. So I'm just like happy to say that I can look forward, and I can, I've learned a lot about myself. These talks with you have like been really eye-opening as to where I was, where I am, where I could be, So
yeah.
I just think I have to keep up with whatever I'm doing. And, this time, like, so in June coming up is like the anniversary of when I was at my lowest point. And I was thinking about it last night. I'm like, we're 2 months away from a year of when I was at my worst, my absolute worst. And I was happy to think about that for a second, because I looked at where I was at that moment in my kitchen, like cleaning my kitchen up and like looking in my house and like being like, I have my own house, I have my animals, I have myself, I have my friends, I have my sanity, I have my health. And
sneak sanity in there.
Yeah. And a year ago, in 2 months, it'll be a year. I had none of that. I had no grasp on anything. You know what I mean? It was just like I have finally been able to like reflect on myself. Still have work to do. Definitely not a perfect person. Never will be. Never have been. But I have been able to right the ship. You know what I mean? And I just like I want to thank you and the people who listen to the show and watch us and stuff, that like who've been gracious enough to reach out and talk to me about the things that I talk about, we talk about. It's just a good feeling. It's a good spot, So the habits that I've made in the last year, basically what I'm getting at, have been a great improvement and have been able to improve where I'm at.
Well, good. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, man. Hey, you're part of it. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah.
That's a good song. We're what do you think, man? Like, I have a hard time doing these live. This is off camera stuff, probably.
Probably. Do you want to wrap it up for today? You want to wrap it up?
Is that good? I don't know. 45 minutes? I don't know.
That's good. Yeah, we can wrap it up.
I feel it was a little short, but we're both in good moods, so it's like, this is boring.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, no, let's wrap it up. We can save whatever. We have another week ahead of us, and I'm sure one of us will get bummed out. We can talk about it next week.
Misery.
Yeah. All right. So let's wrap that up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Thanks everybody.
We'll be back with episode 21 next week.
Jeez, 20.
All right. See ya.